So hello everyone. This is going to be the general cosmic energies for the full moon in Sagittarius. It's going on today. These are the energies that are going out with this full moon. So over the next couple weeks, you'll kind of see how these start to take shape, right? For those of you who know me, let me share this out real quick on Divine Rebel. All right. Hey. Hey everybody. So I want to go over the cosmic energies. This way you guys, can all anticipate what is going on, what you're feeling, what you're going through, and your head space, your heart space, things like that. And what other people are going through too. They're all feeling this energy too. How your chart reacts to certain things is going to be more intense than other people based on what, your chart is, their chart is. So just know that anybody with really strong Pisces in their chart, Sagittarius in their chart, Cancer or Capricorn in their chart, they're being affected differently, right? They're being affected differently. These aspects are super strong, depending on where your moon placement is with what's going on. You know what I mean? A lot of things play in, but the general energy is the same. So I'm going to go over with you guys what is going on right now in the cosmos. All right, and I've trust me when I tell you, it's really intense energy. We had that Destiny's Kite formation earlier in the week that was kind of like building towards this, and we've talked about the Capricorn oppositions, right? Because we've had some different things going on in there. Right now, the Saturn and Pluto retrogrades in Capricorn are opposing Mars and Mercury, okay? They're opposing Mars and Mercury. Juno is not far away, and she's cusping into Leo. And Kronos, which is one of the asteroids, is not far away, okay? Kronos, for those of you who don't know, because I haven't talked about him specifically with anybody yet, because now that I have Astro Gold, I'm realizing there's so much more information, so I've been researching like a freaking nut. Kronos is cold and calculating, right? The heartless energy. And so, it's this certain aspect of the unhealed masculine that we all deal with that is cold and heartless when it comes to getting things done. And all of this is with North Node, right, in Destiny, because North Node is Destiny's direction, and it's all in Cancer, right, opposing the South Node, which is karma, with Saturn and Pluto, which are the two malefics associated with different levels of karma. So we have a lot going on. This whole Capricorn dynamic with Saturn and Pluto is sextiling with Pisces, but it's also trining, right? That Neptune in Pisces is also trining with Cancer's Mars and Mercury. Okay, so what that means, right? Before I get into the squares, I'm going to break down what that means, this opposition, okay? On one side, right, you have the Saturn and Pluto, both retrograding, sextiling with Pisces, who's within 5 degrees of Lilith, right? So Lilith's energy is very present right now in Pisces. It's all about karma, contracts we feel trapped in with no solution. All right, this Piscean, Neptune spin on it is surrounding all of this karma, right, that we're dealing with in the 3D, because all of the karma is what we're dealing with right in front of us. Okay, Capricorn's energy, it's all the things that we feel bound to, right? Like we have those chains, those obligations to, and we don't realize that we can take them off, right? And Neptune is getting ready to start going retrograde. So all of these realizations are slowly starting to come to, and you're like, okay, so there might just be a way out of the circumstance I'm in, right? And it's about deep soul healing. It's about shifting beliefs, right? Deep embedded beliefs and perspectives. It's about thinking of what could have been, it's about nostalgia. It's about reflecting on how we weren't seeing things clearly in the past when we made choices, right? And there's this underlying fear with the placements, right, in the houses that they're in, because they're in the house of possessions, the house of career and reputation, and the house of legacy, and it's all reputation, right? It's all around money, where these aspects are all coming in at. And there's this underlying fear of losing everything that you've built financially, right? Losing the job, losing the home, or, you know, the car, whatever it is, like losing things. And the universe is kind of giving you this reassurance that you're better off than you fear, right? The universe, with this placement, it's letting you know that everything that you're afraid of losing, you're not actually going to lose. It's a part of the karma, right? The fear state, the fear in the mind that we're like subconsciously like ruminating over, like we're not telling anybody just how much some things are bothering us, right? That we feel trapped in, or that we want to go through, you know, or go towards. Like there's secrets, right? Neptune is all about secrets. So there's this secret, you know, secret karmic contracts, secret pulls and ties, you know, with this Lilith energy that you feel like you have this magnetic draw to, that you're supposed to be there, right? You're supposed to be there, and it's conflicted. It's conflicted. And so, you know, with this opposition, what it's asking you is, are you willing to settle for a life that yields, you know, the quote-unquote slow death, right? A life feeling unfulfilled. Like, yeah, you know, you accomplished this and you accomplished that, but you always had dreams of accomplishing more or feeling more, you know, love out of life or more experience, you know, like there's this, do I really want to sacrifice my joy, right? Do I really want to sacrifice my joy is that end of the opposition. Now, the Cancer, Mars, and Mercury, right? They're both direct right now, although Mercury's in a slowdown period. It's going to be going retrograde soon in early July. It's trining with Pisces, with Lilith, right? And the trines are a little bit stronger than the sextiles. So there's definitely weight there, and it has North Node, right? North Node's destiny's direction, so there's an inherent pull in this direction. With Kronos there, it's kind of telling you might have to be cold when it comes to certain things, and then it's moving and shifting all towards Juno. It's moving towards Juno. There's this kind of feeling of there might be a betrayal required in order to open and unlock the door to destiny, right? That fulfilled life, the fulfilled life. It's this Mercury Mars energy. It's about expressing what you can't deny within the self, right? With a passion. It's the truth that you can't deny no matter how hard you try within the self. It's destiny's direction, right? To the point that you are almost getting mad at yourself and maybe even projecting it on others that you can't have it and don't see a solution, right? But there's this inner pull to go after the dream, go after the fantasy life, like moving towards Juno, having that betrayal maybe being required, right? Having to go back on something, go back on a karmic contract, right? With all this Capricorn, Saturn, Pluto. And so now you're looking at possibly having to betray someone or something or some circumstance, abandoning it in order to get what you really want, right? Your destiny's direction. It's where your soul is truly pulling you. And with Mercury there about to go retrograde, there's this element of knowing, right? Knowing there's going to be backlash. Knowing there's going to be backlash, right? But it's working with North Node. So even though there's this betrayal or abandoning energy that we're feeling like we're being confronted with, there is that inner soul knowing that it's for the best, right? It is the better direction. The shadow aspects is knowing that there's this need for directness, knowing that you have to set like clear-cut, solid, this is how it's going to be, you know, taking the lead, you know, actions towards it despite the great adversity surrounding it, you know, including being viewed as selfish and being judged, right? So these are the two conflicting, you know, opposing aspects where on one hand, it looks great on paper, it's suitable, but it's unfulfilling, and you're not judged, you know, you're not ridiculed, but you are essentially committing yourself to unhappiness, right? There might be moments where you can create it, but you're essentially committing yourself to a life that you're settling for, versus having to do the actual hard work and take the action steps and express and communicate the direction you really want to go, and then doing it, right? And then doing it. This is big. So then we have, right, we have this Gemini and Sun and Sagittarius moon, right? Because the full moons are always about opposition. And right now, Gemini's energy, there's no other aspects to the sun right now. So the Gemini sun is kind of standing alone in its energy, and it's presenting as taking things for face value, knowing the need to live in and for the now is there, and having to detach in the mind, right? Having to detach in the mind. This Gemini sun is like, you're coming off as if you're just taking it as it comes, right? It's all good, you know, knowing you need to be in the present, knowing you kind of have to stay detached from the emotional aspects of things, right? And just kind of presenting as calm, cool, and collected. With the moon energy, what's going on beneath the surface? Okay, there's a lot more aspects that are heavy with the moon, okay? The moon that it's opposing, which is leading the energetic force, right? It's getting a lot of support. It's knowing the need to accept the present and see the bigger picture, right? Sagittarius energy. Knowing that this is the present circumstance and still seeing and aspiring towards the bigger picture and being optimistic about how much brighter the future could actually be, right? Should you not put on your happy face, right? The mask, not putting on the happy face, if you actually expressed what your soul was calling for, right? Whatever that is to you, there's this sense that, you know, with Jupiter close by, with Ceres, the heart chakra, right, the broken heart chakra close by, Fortune's door is in Sagittarius, right, it's centering with the galactic center, you know, everything is lining up, you know, with this energy, and it's saying, can you believe it's not an unachievable pipe dream, right? It's asking you to trust. Can you believe that what you want, what your soul desires truly to experience in this life, is not an unachievable pipe dream? Now, there's a big, big energy attached to this, right? Because the moon and Jupiter are right there. They're not that far from each other, okay? Now, there's something called trans-Pluto. And when I was researching trans-Pluto, because I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Trans-Pluto is kind of like Planet X, right? It's kind of like, it's that huge planetary body that's beyond Pluto that our technology can't actually see, right? We can't actually see this planet in the dark depths way beyond Pluto. But we know it's there because mathematically we see how this huge body pulls the other planets in their orbits and causes little shifts, right? So it's like this unseen force that can actually manipulate the entire solar table, right? So it's kind of this, I picked up on it like the hand of God, right? The unseen hand of God that is slowly but surely tweaking all these energies. It's the guide, right? What trans-Pluto is doing right now, it's in Virgo, and it's trining, because it's right on the cusp, it's at 1 degree. It's trining with Jupiter and Uranus, right? In Taurus and Sag, it's trining. Uranus is the curveball. It's the epiphanies, right? It's the connection to the higher purpose, and it's with Vesta, and it's conjunct with Vesta. All right. The way through, if you want to achieve, right, this unlocking of destiny's door, what it's doing is opposing the energy of that Neptune sextile trine that's like covering things with illusion, making it impossible to see the solution, right? It's fog over this opposition. What this hand is doing with the energy and these dynamics with Uranus and Jupiter, it's expanding, it's yielding good luck and good fortune, right? And it's in Virgo. So Virgo is all about step-by-step process. It's about persistence through due diligence. It's attention to the details. It's consideration. It's nurturing through compassion and grounding the 3D. It's about putting your money where your mouth is. The key to unlocking the solution, right, to this destiny's door that you cannot see. The solution to achieving the greater picture, the long-term happiness, right? The setup for success for the rest of your life, which is what this Destiny's Kite was aiming towards, right? This energy, it requires full-blown belief in this shell, in this. It requires full-blown belief in the self to shine through despite the adversity, that you could take it in a step-by-step manner and actually succeed, right? And actually succeed. It's about a blind leap of faith based on the highest love of self that goes beyond this lifetime, right? What you know your soul wants and deserves beyond this lifetime. That's where you're connected. And so the universe is saying, if you want it, you can have it. But this is how you're going to have to handle it, right? This is how you're going to have to handle it. If you have to let a karmic contract go, if you have to betray someone, if you have to close that karmic cycle, if you have to let the chips fall where they may, if you have to take the backlash, due diligence, step by step, get through the storm and shadow of this Neptune, because clarity's coming, right? In order to take, if you were to take this, right, these step-by-steps, the step-by-step process in a nutshell is only going to take about 2 to 3 months. To put it in perspective, to actually do it and break these old karmic contracts, right, that we feel trapped in, that we feel bound to, that leave us unfulfilled, that leave us feeling like there's more, right? I don't want to leave life with regrets. Like, I know there's more to life than this, right? In order to go for it and achieve the unachievable dream, the impossible dream, the universe is saying you got to trust yourself. You got to trust yourself to shine in all of your best aspects, and due diligence, take the steps required to get what you want. And it's going to take about 2 to 3 months. This is not a 2 to 3 year process where you have to, take so many steps every day. No, you have to take the right steps in the right order, be consistent, be compassionate and understanding for the circumstance, and respect that there are steps, right? And if you can do that for the next 2 to 3 months, right? If you were to choose with this energy, right, this full moon energy, to really go after it and commit, because if you're gonna have full-blown belief in the self, it requires 110%. Like, you have to give all you got. You have to commit to that's what you want, and you're gonna have it for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Because this is the dream. This is the undeniable dream, and it's achievable. These are the steps, and it's about 2 to 3 months process before it starts to ease off and manifest and come to fruition, and you get the results, and you're like, finally, it was so worth it, right? It was so worth it. 2 to 3 months ain't nothing compared to what I'm setting myself up for the rest of my life. 2 to 3 months ain't nothing. That backlash isn't going to phase me in 10 years. Right? This reputation tarnish, or these losses that I'm fearing that I'm not actually going to lose, because you're not actually going to lose them. It's all illusion, right? With Neptune, your whole life is not going to collapse and change and da-da-da-da-da. You're giving yourself the door to divine improvement towards your destiny, which is what you always wanted to experience in this life when you wrote it, right, before you came here. You said, this is what I want. This is what I want to heal, and this is what I want to experience after I've championed it. And so now this is the part where we're kind of saying, can I champion it, right? Can I champion the lessons that I've learned? Can I champion my karma? Can I go claim what I really want? Okay, and that's how you do it, right? This trans-Pluto energy, due diligence, step by step. Now, we have a square. We have a significant square going on between Lilith and Venus. Okay. So if you want to look at this, right, from a twin flame standpoint as the divine feminine, Lilith and Venus, which is Eve, right, the 3D happy picture, love in the surface, whatever. This is what's going on. These two are squaring off, right? Energetically, these two are squaring off. Now, Gemini with Venus is by itself. There's no other aspects, right? Similar to the sun. There's no other aspects with the Venus right now. So it is the weaker energy, okay? What it's bringing up is this love based on logic. It makes sense on paper, right? It makes sense on paper. Why would I change it? It makes the most sense to do it this way. Because I could lose this financial thing, or I could have issues at my workplace, or I could, you know, jeopardize this or whatever. I could have to fork out this much money. You know, so it's like, it makes more sense on paper to stay. Karmic relationships, right? The shadow aspect with Gemini is that you're denying the bigger picture as it pertains to your heart space. Right, you're denying the bigger picture as it pertains to your heart spaces. Do you actually really want it? Do you actually really want them? Do they light you up? You know what I mean? It's acknowledging the underwhelm of whatever that is. The Lilith in Pisces, right, because it has this Neptune energy with it. And it's sextiling with Saturn retrograde, right? It's sextiling with Saturn. This is about this combined energy, right? It's about passionate love. It's about romanticizing. It's about it's being communicated mostly in the unspoken, right, reality in the inner, right? The dream state, the fantasy. There's this shadow aspect that there's this anger at the self for missing the opportunity, right? Missing the opportunity that got away. That's the Saturn retrograde aspect. Like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, damn it. It's this energy of I fucking blew it, right? It's this energy of is there any redemption? Is there any recovery from this point? Right? Is there any recovery from this point? And it's a determination within the self, this energetic determination within the self to hell or high water, at the very least, smooth it out, right? There's this need at the very least to smooth it out, okay? There's a sense of a deep soul connection that's way deeper, right? Because Lilith and Neptune and Pisces, that soul connection goes way, way deeper than this, you know, kind of surface Gemini Venus, right? It's almost kind of superficial and surface, right, in that placement. So there's a lot of I was pulling at a lot of sexual fantasy, a lot of sensual energy, deep fantasy, right, and having to hold back, right, and holding it back, having all of this flood in there and holding back, because Mercury is slowing down, right? It's slowing down right now before it goes into retrograde, and it's feeling really intense. So where you feel underwhelmed and lackluster in one, it's extremely intense and potentially overwhelming in the other, right? And it does come, and that overwhelm comes from the fear of backlash, the fear of being judged, feeling like you're being selfish, you know, letting other people down and betraying them. Like there's this whole aspect, right, that's going on in the energy, and it's really, really strong, right? It's really strong. And so knowing that, right, knowing that there's this deep Neptune energy that's kind of fogging everything over, like, don't worry, it'll be okay. You don't have to do anything because it's got this side deal with Pluto and Saturn. Like, you don't have to do anything. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. Don't worry about it. And then there's this trans-Pluto trine, right, that's saying, no, you do actually need to worry about it, and you do actually need to take action because you might actually legit miss this window. You might actually legit miss this window. And so the Neptune energy that's fogging it over, this trans-Pluto's energy, like, please don't fuck up. Just because you can't see through the fog doesn't mean you don't sense and know that there's a way. Just because the fog is saying there's a way that you can't see does not mean there's real possible solutions. And these solutions, when you allow yourself to open up to it, right, when you allow yourself to communicate or break ice or go after and take a step, right, that step-by-step towards whatever it is, it might be random. It could be spur of the moment, right, because it's trying with Uranus and Taurus. It could be spur of the moment, flash solutions out of the blue that can actually work, like that sound crazy but can actually like work. It's saying don't get caught up in petty past issues, right? Stay grounded and focused on the now and flow inside the plan. Like once you create the plan, the step by step, drill it home, like follow it step by step and get it all done until you reach the finish line, because that's exactly the way to do it. And you have to have patience as you go through each of these steps, right? Okay, so first, if I'm gonna start to smooth this out, I gotta at least take this step first. I gotta at least get over this fear first. I have to at least communicate that first, right? And we have Palace and Libra, so there's this, you know, strategically and clearly planning how you're going to go about this. You know, there's other aspects, like I said, Ceres is in Jupiter, so there's this, you know, wanting to expand the healing energy, the going inside the broken heart chakra that's moving towards everything. You know, it's also coming towards the galactic center. You know, so there's a lot of positive energy that we just can't see. There's a lot of like positive, you are not going to believe how well this actually works out, energy that you can't see, right? The universe is letting you know it's going to work out a whole hell of a lot better than you fear, right? Or than you believe. Because what you believe, all these fears, is from like lifetimes and lifetimes, right? With Pluto, Saturn, lifetimes and lifetimes of programming that your soul took on that says fear. And it's finally like you can break the ceiling. You can break that pattern. This is where you can break the wheel. This is where you can stop your karma from all of those past lives, so that moving forward, it's quite legitimately healed. Like you're at this moment, right? Your soul is at this cosmic moment, and it's pushing for it, right? It's legitimately, with Vesta there, it's about taking a risk on receiving better through your own efforts. Uranus and Vesta with this. Let me say that to you again. Taking a risk on receiving better through your own efforts. Due diligence, taking the steps, getting it done in a step-by-step manner. You can't jump ahead and reach the outcome. You have to work towards it. You have to make the effort, and the effort's going to take about 2 to 3 months. It's not that bad, considering it's destiny's direction, and the rest of your life is getting set from there. It's not that bad. And those are the biggest aspects. Those are the biggest aspects going on right now. So, with that said, I did want to pull, I brought all my decks because I didn't technically pick yet. I'm going to pull from a few of my decks to kind of help guide you through the next couple weeks, right? As this full moon energy starts to release and we go back towards the new moon where things start manifesting. All right. What can you take with you moving forward? I'm definitely going to do my Sacred Rebel deck. We'll do that. Let's pull my Archangel deck. What else? No, I definitely want that one. Let me pull a dragon card too. And I got a bunch of new decks. I'm so excited. I got the Lightworker Oracle, I got the Oracle of the Mermaids, and I got my Earth Warriors. I think I'm going to use... I'm freaking in love with these 2 decks right now. I'm going to use 2 of my new ones. Alright, my Lightworkers and my Oracle of the Mermaids. And I'm going to pull some cards from here too. So let's start. Yeah, I'm not going to use this deck. Change my mind on that one. Let's start with my Sacred Rebel deck. What messages, what guidance, you know, because the divine, I mean, this is a divine conversation we're having right now, right? This is a divine conversation. We're talking about the divine, so, and how it works. So what does the divine have to say, right? Because we've got all of these cards and all of these decks. What cards above all other cards do we need to receive right now with these energies moving forward to help us smoothly, right, due diligence, smoothly get us through the next couple weeks? You know, as we deal with that, right, that inner conflict of reality and the true reality, right, the false reality and the true reality that we want to build. What card above all other cards? Yeah. Open up Pandora's box. Be the hunter, not the hunted. This is Pandora's gift. Like, you might think a storm's going to come out, but this owl wisdom is telling you it's not. It's telling you to go after it. Don't be hunted by karma. Don't get hunted by Saturn and Pluto. Go after it. Open Pandora's box. Take the mask off and let the heart light shine to create the ripple of vibration of what's manifesting to you. When you go after destiny and you claim it for yourself, the ripple it creates, the self-love ripple of your vibration that it creates, that it gives off, the universe is like overflow of love energy being returned to you. This is the truth of the cards, right? This is the universe, the divine, coming into this conversation and reassuring you it's not what you think. It's not Pandora's box like you think. It's Pandora's gift. It's Pandora's gift. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Wisdom, right? That palace in Libra. The owl, wisdom. The strategic, go after it step by step. There's a way to win, right? There's a way to win. Archangel cards. Who can we call in and what message would they like to have us receive? Who can we call in and what message would they like us to receive? Chakra clearing, teaching, and learning. It's about purging. Archangel Metatron and Archangel Zadkiel. Zadkiel is the keeper of the Akashic records, right? He goes through Pluto's energy and Saturn's energy, and he's asking you to clear it with Metatron. I shit you not. Crown chakra energy, getting over ego pride, getting over the idea of being judged and what other people think, getting over the idea of backlash, and learning. Teaching others, like, it's not acceptable to settle, you know, there's more to life, and if I could be happy, so can you. If I can get my dreams, so can you. Like, if it can work out for me, it can for you too. Like, it's leading by example. This is about clearing your past karma. Archangel Metatron, he deals with a lot of the geometric shapes. He's also like the CEO of the archangels. He designates everything, you know, and I'm going to read the bottom of the two cards for you. It says, call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. Keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. It's okay. Because when you achieve happiness despite it all, they're going to know if they face all the odds towards what they believe in their soul, they shoot for the moon, they could hit the stars and get more than they ever imagined. You know what I mean? You're setting a positive example. They might not realize it for a time, right? Seeds planted, you know, the sacred seed to the flower of life. It takes time, right? But this is about purging and shifting perspectives. This is about purging and shifting perspectives that you don't have to continue to bear the same crosses that you've bore for lifetimes. You don't have to do it anymore, right? You don't have to. You can free yourself. And that's what your angels are letting you know. They're letting you know. And if you call them in, call in Metatron and call in Zadkiel to help you clear this soul karma that you've developed over lifetimes, these obligations, these things that you feel bound to over lifetimes that don't fulfill you or add to your happiness. They're anchors. You're allowed to clear them out now, right? You're allowed to cut the cord now. The contract, you can deem it complete, right? You can deem it complete. Okay. Work your light, Oracle. What message above all other messages, please, can we receive? Wow. It just hit. The energy was uptight, literally, when I started shuffling, and as soon as I said, what do we need to receive? A wave of calm came over me. So relax, guys, like deep breath. I know it sounds intense, but the actual shifts or steps that we take towards it might actually be small. You know what I mean? It just seems really intense because we know the bigger vision of what we're facing, and you know, it's not getting caught up in the idea that you have a million steps to take. It's just knowing you only have to take one of them right now, right? Taking one of them right now, one at a time, so it's not overwhelming. What message? Yeah. Okay, we've got no and we've got play. It's about waiting, postponing, pausing, and saying no, having fun, celebrating, and don't be so serious. So, no more storms. No more storms. Go have fun with life. Go have fun with life. Enjoy it. Celebrate. Don't pause. Don't hesitate. Don't let the lightning come in. Like, no storms. No settling. No settling in the dark. Bring light in. Bring the light in. Have that epiphany moment strike. Know that you need to take time to plan. Like, don't be reckless. Know that you need time to plan. When you start getting these epiphanies, like, fuck, maybe it can work. What can I say? What can I do? What can I note to self? And go for it. And go for it. Don't be so serious. Don't get caught up in the heaviness that Neptune and Saturn and Pluto are weighing in on, right? Don't get caught up in all of that. Allow yourself to be a little lighthearted and say, okay, Divine, this is what you had planned for me. This is what I had to do. This is the karma and the healing I had to give. You're calling for me to go and maybe break someone's heart or break whatever and betray and receive backlash because, this is what's coming, the celebration, the joy of life. This is what I signed up for. This is the karma that's being dealt to these other people that I care about. So be it. It's about accepting the bigger picture and due diligence, taking steps towards what's meant for you. Truly. Because if you're with someone that you're not truly meant to be with, then they're not with who they're truly meant to be with either. So you got to say no to the storm so they can reach this too. Let the karma go. Let the unfulfillment go, right? Let it go. For some of you that think you need to take action, listen, we all know the waiting game. If you think you should, it's not you. Because if you know you should, you know. You know if you're the one that needs to make the fucking move, right? You know. You know. All right. Quite literally with the Mars energy, all being put on Mars, it's a masculine energy. With Venus and Lilith popping off, it's like two feminine energies. So I guarantee you guys, if you're dealing with the whole masculine, feminine, sacred relationship, whatever, it's the masculine, right? It's the masculine that's got to call this. All the pressure, right? Literally all the pressure is being put on the masculine aspect. Or the masculine counterpart. If they want like the actual connection with their twin flame. Otherwise, the feminine energy in the reverse is about they're starting over a new life without the masculine, right? That's the energy. They're taking that masculine energy and fighting for what they deserve with or without them, right? With or without them. So, it's where the energies are. Dragon Oracle cards. All right. What dragon is working across all realms in order to aid us in this healing, in this divine direction? Yeah, golden solar dragon. Wow. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. This is about quite literally the masculine energy, the masculine power, the masculine counterpart coming into their own and accepting this is their sunshine. This is their confidence. This is their solar plexus. Like, this is the spark they need to create and build in their authenticity. Like, the sky is the limit, right? The sky is the limit. You see the stars, like, it's all out there. This is about truly shifting perspective and coming into the full-blown self. Full shine, right? You get to be all of your positive aspects at once and therefore manifest nothing but positive experience to you. You know what I mean? Like, we all deal with things in life that we can't avoid, like death or moving or, leaving people or jobs or whatever. We all have those moments that, we get through, but this is about really finding the person that you can get through everything with, right? The person that no matter what, even if you fight, right? Even if you have it out and there's this passionate energy between you and it's intense, you know, knowing that at the end of the day, that connection is still more solid than anything else, and you can have faith and trust in each other. You know what I mean? That's the shine. That's the shine. You water me, I water you. Like, you know, the feminine aspect, you know, if you're in this kind of, you know, dynamic, sacred relationship dynamic, the feminine is an outpour of love energy. And so when it's given back, right, and the masculine continues to receive this outpour, their energy gets so high and so through the roof and so on fire that they feel like they could take on the world and they can do anything. Because they have the feminine, you know what I mean? They have her energy supporting them no matter what they're going through, right? And it's knowing that it's that spark, it's that element that takes you to the next level. So if you're a divine feminine, you know, this is your spark, this is your inner masculine coming out saying, I know what I can create on my own, right? I know what I can create on my own, so that I'm not getting stuck or stagnant waiting, right? Waiting for anybody. It's that curveball epiphany, I gotta move, you know, there's better out there energy that the feminine's also feeling, right? While the masculine is kind of in limbo with these choices. All right, some perspective for you. Okay. And I'm going to get into, I'm going to do my Oracle of the Mermaids first, and then my Light Worker Oracle. I'm going to finish on that. This is a brand new deck. I have gone through all the cards. There's a couple that I told myself if they come out, I'm going to read them out of the book. So just a heads up. Otherwise, I pretty much know the cards. All right? Because I'm a nut. I learned all of these cards within like an hour. All right. So what message above all other messages can we receive right now, Source? What is the highest good message that we need to receive with this full moon energy? Yeah, wow. Transparency is one. Honest, authentic, genuine, and present. This is that trans-Pluto energy, asking you to be real, asking you to be clear, asking you to put it all on the table, like get it all out there, because when all the details are learned, then all the possible solutions come to light, right? So it's about being transparent. You can read the bottom there. Honest, authentic, genuine, and present. Be transparent. Get rid of that Neptune fog, right? Get through the illusion and just be honest. Just be honest, right? And then we have Yamaya. And this is about the divine mother, right? The goddess of goddesses, right? The divine mother. Nurturing and holding your inner child, the innocence of you before you were jaded by life. The light that you are before you're born. This is Yamaya, Grandmother Ocean. It's primordial. It's the part of you in yourself that wants nothing more than to just succeed and be happy, like a grandmother would want for her grandchildren. She just wants them to be happy. She just wants them to live healthy lives. You know, she just wants that for her grandchildren. It's primordial. It goes way back. This is the deepest aspects of the heart, the deepest aspects of the soul that are undeniable. That are undeniable. It is the deepest love of self. It is the deepest love of self. When you get really clear on what it is that you want, what it is that you can't live with yourself if you go a life without it, right? Experiencing it. This energy is telling you to please trust, because it's the deepest parts of your soul that are connected to it. Just be clear and get back in touch with that element of yourself, you know, that deserves love. Because on a deep level, you know you deserve love, and you deserve to be happy, and you deserve to live a happy, healthy life with love. with love in it, with trust in it, with security and safety in it, support in it. You might not realize it from this lifetime, but on a real deep level, that's what your soul is pushing for, and it's asking you to come clean, right? It's asking you to come clean with yourself so that you can come clean other people. And lastly, advice coming out of this full moon's energy. What card above all other cards, Spirit, can you give us to help us with this divine destiny that we all want to achieve, with the success that we all want to achieve? What final card above all other cards would you have us receive in order to achieve it? Spiritual decree. Spiritual decree. Card number 41. So this is for the number of stability, divine stability, and the archangels coming in to start a new beginning that's going to cause great change in your life. The 4 plus the 1 is a 5. This is a brand new cycle, right? 41 is a new, tens number. This is moving into a new chapter that is stable, that is guided by your angelic higher selves in order to start new and fresh so that you can create the greatest changes in your life, being cosmically connected. All right, let me read this one since it's the last card, and it is my new deck. Let's read a little, shall we? Spiritual decree. Okay, it says, you've been wondering what will happen next in your life, not realizing how much power you have to decide that for yourself. What do you wish to have happen next? Are you willing to use your divine birthrights of free will, voice, and empowerment to set the cosmic wheels in motion? If your answer is yes, then it is time to speak your truth to the universe, decree it, and you shall be it. If you've been praying for help, asking for a map, and wanting directions, you are wise in the ways of receptive, responsive approaches to life. It is spiritually mature to trust the greater guiding power of the divine to direct your course. And yet, the wishes in your heart are part of how that happens, right? Divine action. Taking the leap of faith on self-love in the highest to claim what is rightfully yours. Divine destiny is not something that just happens to you, but it is something that you co-create as a living spiritual being with free will and divine love beating in your heart. You are being honored for your ability to ask for the guidance and wait for the signs. You are also being asked to set the intention and develop faith in yourself, to trust in what your heart yearns for, what you love so much that you are willing to go through the discomfort of growth to see it come to life. It is time for you to have the experience of seeing your intention blossom into full manifestation. This does not mean that you have to make things happen. You're not responsible for all of how your manifestation occurs, but there are steps. The universe unfolds according to its own genius, of course, but you're responsible for your words, beliefs, and the intentions you express that are the seeds of your personal creation. The universe will respond in its own wise and powerful way. Now there's an invocation, okay, at the end of this. So it says, and you can place your hand on your heart space, whatever you want to do. If you want to receive this, okay? By the divine authority in me, I intend to create, attract, and enjoy, for the greatest good of all, a life of abundance in love, well-being, fulfillment, joy, and wisdom. I am willing to take the journey to grow into the fullest expression of my beautiful and true self. May these words be divinely empowered to create my reality. Love, peace, happiness, trust, surrender, strength, and grace. May the power of voice and decree and the power of spiritual authority always be tempered by grace and divine mercy through unconditional love and my own free will. So be it. And you thank the divine. Thank you. You put that intention out there. That is declaring spiritual decree. That you would claim outright nothing but the highest good of all. In the vibration of unconditional love of all, that you have your birthright, destiny to live. Amen to that. With that said, guys, I'm going to wrap up this live. I will be in the moon event for the rest of the day. My PM is not going to be answered. The only people that will be able to contact me or get hold of me are going to be in the moon event. I'm going to be popping off here and popping in there to do some individual advice card pulls. Give me about 15-20 minutes, guys. I'm just going to grab something to drink real quick, and I'll be in there. So if you guys are in the moon event, you'll see me in a little bit, and I'll pull you guys some cards. All right? Until next time, guys, love each other, love yourselves, keep up on my YouTube. I will be posting things on there. All right, keep up on it, and I will be around. All right, reach out to me if you need me. My PM is always in divine time. You can unleash whatever you need to unleash in there. Just know that I will absolutely get to it when I am meant to. All right, love and light, guys. Until next time, bye.